Hi, my name is Robert Chelle with Chelle Law, and my law firm assists physicians with employment contract issues. Today I'm going to talk about, can surgeons moonlight? Pretty simple question. And the answer is it depends. In the employment agreement, there will almost always be some kind of section of what's called outside activities. Sometimes it's called exclusivity, but there will be something in there that states under what scenarios the surgeon can work for a different employer, even if it's just on a part-time basis. Normally, it would state the surgeon must get written approval from the employer to practice medicine for any other organization while employed, with the employer. So I find it's helpful for prior to signing in the employment agreement to talk about the scenarios where the surgeon would want to do other things. Like, for instance, maybe it's like a plastic pediatric hand specialist, but they want to also do general plastics on the side or something like that. You would want to run that by the organization in advance and just say, look, these are the things I'd like to do while employed. These activities will have no interference at all with my duties for the employer. I'll do it on the weekends. I'll do it on my days off, whatever it is. But I would like the opportunity to keep my skills up in that area. And I won't be able to do that, like say the person is employed with a pediatric hospital network or something like that. I won't have the opportunity to do that on adults, and I'd like to keep up my skills. Most time, the employer certainly would be okay with that. Times where they would not be okay with that would be if the surgeon was interested in working for a competitor, even on a part-time, short-term basis. Certainly, if a surgeon is employed by a hospital network and they ask their employer if they can work for another hospital network on a part-time basis, or even maybe providing call or something like that, normally the employer would not be cool with that. They would be concerned that the surgeon would start to build relationships and maybe eventually want to just give notice, leave, and move over. So that's something that it generally would not allow. So the contract is simply going to dictate under what scenario the surgeon can moonlight or work other places. Many of the contracts will have some kind of disclosure form as well that states, what are the things you're currently doing, and then those are disclosed and then either, approved or disapproved by the employer. For some people, it's a big deal. So, because the scenario I just listed before, they want to keep up their skills, they don't have the opportunity to do it with that employer. So being able to do outside activities and moonlight is very important, which is totally understandable. And so if you bring some of these issues to the employer and it's a flat no, well, that might not be an employer you want to work for. If they're so rigid that they're not willing to give the surgeon any opportunities elsewhere, I don't think that's reasonable, and it also probably means that the employment relationship moving forward or on a day-to-day basis could be strained simply because they're unwilling to bend the rules. I mean, it's not even bending the rules, but just making some kind of accommodation to the surgeon. So can surgeons moonlight? Certainly they can, but the contract language is going to dictate whether they can or not. There may be that kind of language may be completely absent from the agreement. And in that scenario, unless there's somewhere in there that states you can only work for us, or you can only work outside under those scenarios, if it's completely absent, then normally it would be fine for the surgeon to do what they want, considering that it absolutely can't interfere with their full-time job. I mean, you couldn't certainly say to your employer, oh, I have another case somewhere else, so I can't do that. I mean, that would be a breach of contract in some way. Yep. So hopefully that's helpful. If you have any questions, you can contact us at the phone number listed below in the description. You can visit our website at chellelaw.com, or there's also a link to the website below in the description as well. If you have any questions, please let us know. Appreciate you watching the video. Thanks.